Have you ever noticed how some people walk into a room and instantly capture attention, while others struggle to even get noticed? It almost feels like they carry an invisible magnet, drawing respect, friendship, and trust without even trying. But here's the truth. It's not magic, it's not luck, and it's not about being born with charisma. It's a skill, an art, and something anyone can learn. And today, in this video, we are diving deep into the timeless wisdom of the art of winning hearts. A guide that shows us how to connect with people, influence them positively, and build relationships that transform our personal and professional life forever. If you stay with me till the end, you'll discover the hidden secrets of communication, trust, and genuine connection that can open doors you never imagined possible. Life, after all, is not lived in isolation. No matter who you are, where you come from, or what you want to achieve, your success will always depend on how well you can deal with people. Whether it's convincing your boss to recognize your efforts, inspiring your team to work harder, making friends who support you in difficult times, or simply creating a positive impression wherever you go. The ability to win hearts is the ultimate superpower. And the best part? You don't need to be the smartest, the richest, or the most attractive person in the room to master it. You just need the right mindset, the right approach, and the right understanding of human nature. Imagine for a moment that every interaction you have, whether with a stranger, a colleague, or a close friend, is like planting a seed. Some people plant seeds of warmth, kindness, and respect, which grow into strong, fruitful trees of trust and love. Others, without realizing it, plant seeds of negativity, criticism, or indifference, and those seeds grow into barriers, distance, and broken relationships. The art of winning hearts teaches us how to consciously plant the right seeds so that every encounter leaves people feeling better, valued, and uplifted after meeting you. When you master this art, you will never walk alone in life, because you will always carry with you the goodwill, love, and respect of people who truly matter. Let's begin with the most fundamental truth. People crave appreciation. Deep down, every human being longs to be seen, heard, and valued. When you look beyond someone's flaws and instead genuinely appreciate their efforts, you light up their soul in a way that few things can. Think about it. When was the last time someone sincerely acknowledged your hard work or said something kind about you? Didn't it feel unforgettable? That's the effect you can create every single day. By practicing the art of appreciation, you not only make others feel important, but you also build invisible bridges of trust that make people naturally drawn to you. And here's the beauty. Appreciation costs nothing, yet its value is immeasurable. Another powerful lesson from the art of winning hearts is the magic of listening. Too often, people think that being a great communicator means speaking well. But in reality, the greatest communicators are those who listen deeply. When you listen, not just to reply but to truly understand, you make people feel safe. You show them that their words matter, their feelings matter, and they matter. And when people feel understood, they open their hearts to you. They trust you, follow you, and are influenced by you. Listening, therefore, is not just a skill. It's a gift you give to others, and in return, you earn their love and loyalty. But winning hearts isn't just about kindness and listening. It's also about influence. Influence is not manipulation. It's the ability to guide people towards a better version of themselves. When you inspire others, when you set an example through your actions, and when you uplift people instead of putting them down, you naturally become a leader in their eyes. Leadership is not about titles or positions. It's about impact. And impact comes from treating people with respect, encouraging their strengths, and helping them rise higher. The truth is, every interaction leaves behind an impression. Some people leave a trail of joy and positivity wherever they go, while others leave bitterness and discomfort. The question is, what do you want people to feel when they walk away from you? The art of winning hearts reminds us that if we want love, we must give love. If we want respect, we must give respect. If we want cooperation, we must first extend kindness and understanding. What we send out to the world always comes back, often multiplied. Now think about this. How different would your life be if you could win the trust of your colleagues, the respect of your community, and the love of your family effortlessly? How much easier would it be to achieve your dreams if people wanted to help you instead of resisting you? That's the transformation this wisdom can bring into your life. And it all begins with small, conscious actions. Choosing empathy over ego, encouragement over criticism, and connection over conflict. So as you continue listening, remember this: mastering the art of winning hearts is not about changing who you are, but about bringing out the best version of yourself. The version that people can't help but admire, follow, and support. Because when you know how to touch lives, you don't just achieve success, you create a legacy of love, trust, and influence that lasts far beyond your lifetime. But here's something most people don't realize. Winning hearts doesn't mean trying to please everyone. It doesn't mean sacrificing your own values or pretending to be someone you're not just to gain approval. Real influence doesn't come from fakeness. It comes from authenticity. People can sense when you are genuine, and they can also sense when you're putting on a mask. If you want to win lasting respect, you have to live your truth. That means standing firm in your values while still respecting the values of others. It means being kind but not weak. It means being humble but not submissive. True influence is a balance between strength and compassion, confidence and humility, self-belief and empathy. Think about the people you admire most in your life. Are they the loudest in the room, constantly bragging about their achievements? Or are they the ones who carry themselves with quiet confidence, who uplift others, who never make you feel small? More often than not, the people we respect the most are those who make us feel respected. They don't need to shout about their greatness, because their actions, their character, and the way they treat others speaks louder than words. And this is where the art of winning hearts teaches us something profound. If you want to be unforgettable, don't focus on making others admire you. Focus on making them feel admired. One of the greatest truths in human psychology is this: people don't remember what you said, but they always remember how you made them feel. This single principle has the power to transform your relationships, your career, and your entire life. If you can make people feel valued, appreciated, and respected in your presence, they will never forget you. You become someone they look forward to seeing, someone they want to support, someone they trust with their loyalty. This is why people with average intelligence, average looks, or average resources can still achieve extraordinary success, because they've mastered the emotional side of influence. They know how to connect with hearts, not just minds. Let's take a moment to reflect on the idea of criticism. How often do we criticize others, thinking we are helping them improve? But in reality, criticism rarely inspires change. It usually creates resistance, resentment, and distance. Nobody likes to be judged. Nobody likes to feel attacked. On the other hand, encouragement works like magic. When you highlight someone's strengths instead of pointing out their flaws, you give them the confidence to grow. When you acknowledge their progress, you give them the motivation to keep going. Winning hearts is about choosing encouragement over criticism, guidance over judgment, and solutions over blame. This doesn't mean ignoring mistakes. It means correcting them in a way that builds people up instead of tearing them down. Now imagine a world where everyone practiced this wisdom, where instead of competing, people collaborated. Instead of tearing each other down, they lifted each other up. The truth is, such a world can exist, and it begins with us. You and I have the power to create it in our own lives, one interaction at a time. Every smile we give, every kind word we speak, every moment we listen with empathy is like a ripple that spreads far beyond what we can see. You never know whose day you're changing, whose hope you're restoring, whose life you're touching just by choosing to act with love and respect. But let's be real. Life is not always easy. There will be times when people misunderstand you, criticize you, or even betray you. Winning hearts doesn't mean everyone will always like you. It means you choose to rise above negativity, to stay true to your character, and to respond with grace instead of anger. It means refusing to let bitterness change who you are. And ironically, it is in these tough moments that your influence becomes the strongest. People notice when you remain calm under pressure, when you respond with dignity in the face of disrespect, when you refuse to lower yourself to negativity. That's when they see the strength of your character, and that's when respect is earned at the deepest level. Another golden lesson in the art of winning hearts is the power of names. A person's name is the sweetest sound to them in any language. When you use someone's name in conversation, you instantly make the interaction personal and warm. It shows that you see them as an individual, not just another face in the crowd. This simple practice can change the way people perceive you. Think about it. When someone remembers your name after meeting you just once, doesn't it make you feel special? That small gesture can spark a connection that lasts for years. Winning hearts isn't about grand gestures. It's about these tiny acts of attention and care that accumulate into trust and admiration. And let's talk about influence in leadership. True leaders are not those who demand respect through authority or position, but those who earn respect through service. Leadership is not about being above others. It's about being with them, guiding them, and lifting them higher. The most influential leaders are those who make others feel capable, important, and empowered. They don't hog the spotlight, they share it. They don't command loyalty, they inspire it. And this principle doesn't just apply to CEOs or politicians. It applies to every one of us. Whether you're leading a family, a team, or simply setting an example for your friends, your influence is strongest when it comes from service, not superiority. Winning hearts is also about empathy, the ability to step into someone else's shoes, to see the world through their eyes. Too often, conflicts arise not because people are bad, but because they feel misunderstood. When you take the time to understand someone's perspective, even if you don't agree with it, you break down walls and build bridges. Empathy doesn't mean you have to approve of everything. It means you care enough to understand. And in return, people open their hearts to you because they feel respected. Here's a truth you should never forget. People don't follow titles, they follow trust. You can have all the qualifications, all the money, all the influence in the world, but if people don't trust you, it's worthless. Trust is built slowly, through consistency, honesty, and integrity. Every time you keep a promise, every time you act with fairness, every time you stand by your word, you deposit into the bank of trust. Over time, those deposits create unshakable loyalty. But the opposite is also true. Break trust even once, and it can take years to rebuild. That's why the art of winning hearts is deeply tied to living with integrity. Now think for a moment. What is the deepest foundation of any relationship? The answer is honesty and genuine appreciation. People will never truly like you if they feel you're being fake or manipulative. Every human being craves appreciation, but there is a very thin line between genuine appreciation and empty flattery. Flattery is selfish and insincere, but honest appreciation touches the heart and builds trust. The art of winning hearts teaches us that when you are able to see the good in others and express it with sincerity, you win not just their respect, but their affection. Imagine someone telling you, from the heart, "Your hard work is truly admirable." Those words don't just stay in your ears, they stay in your heart. The next principle is this: learn to listen. Most people are quick to talk, but very few are good listeners. And yet, being a good listener is one of the most powerful ways to connect with people. When you listen carefully, when you make the other person feel that their thoughts and feelings matter, they begin to trust you. A good listener is rare, and that's why people naturally open up to those who listen with genuine attention. Always remember, the art of winning hearts does not tell you to change people. Instead, it guides you to change the way you approach people, with respect, with empathy, and with sincerity. One of the most powerful lessons in winning hearts is learning how to make people feel important without making yourself feel small. This is not about false modesty or pretending to be less than who you are. It is about recognizing that every person you meet carries within them a story, a dream, and a desire to be valued. When you treat someone with respect, no matter their position or status, you awaken in them a sense of worth. And when people feel worthy in your presence, they naturally gravitate toward you. Think about the last time someone truly made you feel seen, whether it was through a kind word, a compliment, or simply their undivided attention. Didn't it make you want to be around them more often? This is the silent magnetism of the heart, and once you understand it, you realize that influence is not forced, it is earned. But here's the mistake so many people make. They focus on themselves. They walk into conversations trying to impress, trying to dominate, trying to prove their intelligence or success. They think that influence comes from talking more, from being louder, from showing off what they know. But in reality, the opposite is true. Influence is not about how much you say, but how much you care. Winning hearts is not about shining the spotlight on yourself, but about turning it toward others and letting them shine. If you can master this shift in perspective, focusing less on being interesting and more on being interested, you will discover that people are drawn to you without you even trying. Think of it this way. Every single person you meet walks around with an invisible sign hanging around their neck that says, "Make me feel important." And if you can treat people as if that sign were real, you will never be short of friends, allies, and supporters in your life. Genuine attention is rare in today's world, where everyone is busy scrolling, rushing, and living distracted lives. That's why, when you stop and truly give someone your focus, it feels extraordinary. They will remember you because you gave them something precious, your time and your presence. Another beautiful lesson in the art of winning hearts is that arguments rarely lead to true influence. You may win a debate with your words, but if you lose the other person's goodwill in the process, what have you truly gained? Human beings are not robots. They don't change their minds simply because you've outsmarted them. Hearts are not won through force, they are won through understanding. Instead of arguing, seek common ground. Instead of trying to prove someone wrong, try to see things from their perspective. This does not mean you have to agree with everything. They may still hold beliefs different from yours. But your willingness to listen, to understand, and to respect their point of view can do more to win their trust than 100 logical arguments ever could. Now let's go deeper into empathy. Imagine for a moment that you are standing in someone else's shoes. You see the world through their eyes. You feel their fears, their struggles, their hopes. That perspective changes everything. Suddenly you realize that behind every rude remark is often an insecurity. Behind every act of anger is often a hidden pain, and behind every smile there may be a silent struggle. When you see life this way, you stop judging so quickly, and you begin responding with compassion. Empathy does not weaken you, it strengthens you. It makes people feel safe with you, and safety is the foundation of trust. And when people trust you, they open their hearts to you. But winning hearts is not only about kindness, it is also about consistency. Anyone can be kind once, but if you want to build lasting influence, you must be reliable. People are watching not just what you say, but what you do again and again. Do you keep your promises? Do you show up when you said you would? Do you remain fair even when things don't go your way? Consistency builds a reputation, and reputation builds trust. The greatest leaders, the most admired friends, and the most cherished partners are those who can be counted on. Not once, but always. And here's a truth that may surprise you. Humility is magnetic. In a world obsessed with status and self-promotion, humility stands out. When you achieve something and yet remain grounded, people admire you even more. Humility doesn't mean denying your achievements. It means not letting your achievements become walls that separate you from others. It means using your success to inspire, not to intimidate. Humility says, yes, I have done great things, but you can too. And that message resonates deeply in people's hearts because it lifts them up instead of pushing them down. Let us not forget the role of gratitude. Gratitude is one of the most powerful forces in human connection. When you show appreciation, genuine appreciation, for the people in your life, they feel valued. A simple thank you, when spoken with sincerity, can turn an ordinary moment into a lasting memory. Gratitude not only wins hearts, it also transforms your own mindset. When you focus on the good in others, you begin to see more good in the world. And when you radiate positivity, people are drawn to your energy. Gratitude is like sunshine. It warms everyone it touches, and it makes everything it shines on grow. But perhaps the most beautiful part of the art of winning hearts is this. It reminds us that influence is not about manipulation, it's about inspiration. Manipulation is short-lived, built on selfishness, and always leaves the other person feeling used. Inspiration, however, is eternal. When you inspire someone, you don't just change their opinion, you change their life. And they, in turn, carry that inspiration forward, spreading it to others. This is how true influence works. It's not about controlling people. It's about empowering them. And when you empower others, you don't just win their hearts, you win their loyalty, their respect, and their love.